happy about anyway. But then, of course, it also means that in about a year's time, we shall be electing, or we shall be actually installing a new president. Yes, so on 7th December this year, when we go to the polls to elect a president, a month later, on 7th January, then the inauguration ceremony would happen. Yesterday, I saw flyers from both the National Democratic Congress and, of course, the New Patriotic Party of their respective candidates with 1 year more to the inaugural ceremony of Baumia. I saw the same with Mahama as well. As to which of the two would occupy that position, I mean, we wait to see. But I know that my folks, the butterfly movement, would also beg to differ and believe that Alan John Chairman Ting would be the right person to steer the affairs of this country come December 7, 2024. Right. Without further ado, let me introduce my guest. I've been joined by Honorable Alex Segbefia, former Minister of Health, former Deputy Chief of Staff, former Deputy Defense Minister as well. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning. So, as you didn't say former married. I'm currently married. Former was too much.
I think you have a current position in the National Democratic Congress. Yes,
it's a big portfolio.
Big portfolio. Director of International. He's been globetrotting.
Shadow for
I'm telling you, this week I won't be around. I'm going to the US. This week I won't be around. I'm going to Finland. I'm telling you. But it's a very hard working.
I'm working for Rupa in case they bring it. I'm just waiting to see what they
Right. Prof, good morning.
Morning.
Happy New Year. So it's my first time meeting you this year. I hope you're fine.
I think the whole year.
Yes.
Yeah, 2014, 2024. That's the whole year. And good morning to your viewers as well.
It's also.
Bless.
Good morning to you. Very fine.
Very fine. Except that you said what people have done what flyers. You mean NDC and NPP? You see, this is a sense of entitlement. They believe that the people of this country, no matter the mess that these two political parties have caused, they will still entrust the destiny of this country to their hands. But silence is golden. We will not preempt what the Ghanaian will do come December 7th. But we know that the Ghanaian will not vote for poverty come December 7th. We know the Ghanaian will not vote for mismanagement come December 7th, 2024. And so these flyers that you are seeing, they are only entertaining themselves. And I cannot, to the extent that it's for entertainment purposes, I wish they were. Yes.
The show has started already. once you touch butterfly.
It's started already. Your reserve his words.
With all those, I'll just say Happy New Year. So everybody, let say Happy New Year.
Great.
Heard about from the butterfly.
Great.
He's talking about poverty. The person who they are bringing is called Alan Cash. So we are watching.
Right. Let's look at the topics we are discussing for the morning. I'll take you through them. First off, we shall be looking at lithium. It's not only Ghana that has discovered lithium. You go to other African countries, yes, they've made that discovery. So Africa's lithium, green energy, and the imperialist interest, that's going to be our first topic for discussion. The new force unveiling ceremony allegedly thwarted by national security. The new force unveiling ceremony allegedly thwarted by national security. Mahama Nanado treat salvos as 1 year to next presidential swearing in. Mahama Nanado treat salvos 1 year to next presidential swearing in. Right, so these are the topics we are discussing for the morning. Without further ado, we'll start with the conversation on lithium. Like earlier stated, a lot of countries in Africa have discovered this raw material. Zimbabwe, Namibia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mali, Ethiopia, Ghana, all these countries, they have discovered lithium in commercial quantities. We know for a fact that going into the future, there's an intentional, decision to move away from fossil fuel to green energy, and lithium very, very important component in the making of batteries. Currently, worldwide, the likes of China, the likes of Australia, the likes of Chile, they are leading in terms of the production of lithium, with over 90% of the world production coming from these three countries. So they produce, I think, in excess of 130,000 tons globally. Yep, in 2022, 130,000 tons globally in 2022. But the fear is that in as much as African countries, some African countries discovered this raw material, there's a fear that it risks fueling corruption and failing, the African people. Because I mean, lithium isn't the first natural resource that we've discovered on the continent. There's been gold, there's been diamonds, there's been magnesium, there's been a lot of raw materials, there's been a lot of natural resources that this continent has been blessed with, but we've not been able to exploit these resources to our advantage as a people. But then again, also we know about other interests from other countries, interests from the West, especially once we make this discovery. And even here in Ghana, the lithium deal, as we know, and the percentage that we are going to get as a country, a lot of people are not happy about it. I mean, so all of these interests, come into play. So we are going to be digesting the conversation on this particular matter. Solomon Owusu would start for us.
Bless. Thank you very much. Africa, our poverty levels is as a result of greed by most of our leaders. But for greed, I don't think Ghana, for instance, would wait for lithium to see it as a game changer in our everyday life. After all, we have gotten gold, diamond, bauxite, manganese, you name it. All these resources could not save our country from poverty. So why the lithium? At a point, pastors in this country turn praying for this country to discover oil. Remember that? Because we thought when we had oil, all our problems. In fact, people said we would be buying fuel at one city if we did discover oil. But what did we see? There again, oil was discovered and the nation was shortchanged. And that is the story of the African. It's greed, nothing more. Because nobody can convince me sitting here that as a country, we cannot mobilize the much needed resources to engage in the production of these minerals by ourselves and also the refinery of it. Is it not interesting that for the many years that we have been mining gold in this country, the UAE or Dubai, for that matter, that has no gold deposit, has rather a gold refinery when Ghana has none? Doesn't make sense. And this what you need any Harvard-trained person to tell you that what you are doing is not in the best interest of this country. So it is going to follow the trajectory of previous deals in metallic and other minerals that has characterized the African region, hence our poverty. If you look at the lithium deal that Ghana has entered, remember, all that is left now is for Parliament to ratify. Make no mistake, and that is why they have unleashed all these people, so-called experts in minerals. They are not experts. If you were experts, you would not lead this country into some of these bogus deals. You are expert in what? Which serious businessman would discover such a mineral that the world needs now? The world needs lithium more than ever, because we ourselves say we want to go where? Green. We have oil that is going to phase out, because once we are going green, then it means the demand for our oil will go down. And you are fortunate to have gotten a major component of what to sustain the green energy, which is the lithium. And let us see how sensitive you are to the people of this country, then you go and enter into agreement with a company called Barari that they should come and mine the lithium and send it to Australia. So that it is the Oyibo man, the Australian, that has a sense in this whole world who can change it or turn it into rechargeable batteries for vehicles, for laptops, for phones, for cameras, even for toys and clocks. But those of us down here, we are not worthy of that to be engaging in some of these things. It's not good enough. It's chop chop. If anybody tells you that this is the best deal, any deal, there is a reason why lithium deposit was given to the people of this country. How can you have the deposit here and the cumulative interest that you are going to get will be less than 20%? Now we have heard some experts say that if you combine, what do you call it, our corporate tax plus carried interest and so on and so forth, at the end of the day, it amounts to 52%. I was like, are we living in a serious country? You are talking about corporate tax? Corporate tax is tax on profit. Are you with me? If the people come here and tell you that they made a profit of 1,000, that is what you calculate your 35% to. You understand? Now, no serious businessman, these multinational companies, you know what they do? They have something called transfer pricing. I can tell you that Barari company that is going to mine here, the company that they will be selling the lithium to there is an offshoot. So they will price it very low. And when they price it very low, it means the revenue that will be coming will low, and they will boost their expenses. So that at the end of the day, when you deduct the expenditure from the revenue, they will be left with small, and that is where you apply your 35%. And you are telling me that you are expert. So we should just go and mine the lithium from Ewoya, forgetting the environmental risk. We are talking about green energy. What people forget to know is that in the bid to achieve your green energy, some communities will suffer because the mining of lithium is going to destroy environment in the Ewoya area. But always we are muffled in poverty-stricken situations. This is the only country that any big project we are afraid to do. Oh, this one there must be the white person. Businessmen must be made to work. Politicians' business is to create the enabling environment. Let the businessmen of this country be put to work. When Americans, and for that matter the UK, go to war, they go with their soldiers. When they are done, corporate America and corporate UK take over the place. They establish their businesses to suck you hard. They are more dangerous than how many corporate businesses are we developing in this country so that we can be proud of ourselves and say that we discovered lithium and this is being done by the people of this country. Hey, everything must be white. Then we must also sublet our presidency to the white. You think Ghanaian is not capable of doing that business? Then you as the president or the minister, you must also live there so that we bring the white. Then we know that we have mortgaged everything to them. So it is not a healthy development. And I say right from the onset, we have gotten it wrong. But I would have been happy, or I would have been comfortable with the parliament that we have today, that they will be able to stop this deal. But are you confident? You see where the country has got into? The people of this country do not have any confidence in the level of parliamentarians we have today. Though it's a hung parliament, remember? And that is why I was telling you, those that are posting the pictures of the vice president and the former president, it's laughable. You have your representatives in parliament, hung parliament, 37, now it's 36, is it still 37, or there is someone standing inside?
37.
I think the NDC must have even the majority now, because you know the member of parliament for Wassa West also, the minister for chieftaincy of Korea.
The one who is taking you.
Yes, he has not been going to parliament.
Yes. I've seen him a few times.
He goes.
He goes. When there's
When they are going to do damage, he goes.
I've seen him there a few times.
It's not well.
He's not well at all.
So in fact, if decisions were going to be taken and taken rightly, it means the minority, the so-called minority group, must always carry the day, because some of the members of parliament are not going. Yet they go there and approve. So the people of this country have no confidence in the kind of parliamentarians that we have now. And I want to admonish Ghanaians that 2024 election is not about the presidency alone. There must be a lot of independent candidates in parliament. They must vote against most of these parliamentarians because they've proven that they can't help this country. And that is how the presidency or the executive can have the balls to go and enter into this agreement and say they are taking it to parliament. Because they know parliament, it will be yeah. And when it's yeah, it means we have signed our destinies away and the future generations will suffer. Why must we have all this? And Ghana as a country is now struggling to get the second tranche of IMF. Hey! And you ask how much that second tranche, they say $600 million. A country like Ghana with all these resources, we are now struggling to get $600 million. But one player, how much do they buy? So Cristiano Ronaldo and them, they are richer than this country called Ghana. One person. That is how far we have reduced ourselves to. And people must not be happy that they have been signing the destinies of this country away. Because good name is better than riches. Why is it that in other countries people die 100 years, they are still remembered? Because the current generation sees their conditions of living as being the toils or the struggles of those people. Can we say same for the people of this country? That you will remember those that came. Few of them. That's why people see Kwame Nkrumah's work. They say, oh, he did well. Because now they can point to something. Anytime they use a motorway, they can remember that, oh, this was spearheaded by Kwame Nkrumah. But you that is leading, what will people point to? Would they be happy if they point to the lithium deal as the one that you spearheaded and gave Ghana 10% or 13%? That we that have the property are going to get a minority share? Go to the western region. How manganese is being mined and shipped out of the country like there is no tomorrow. Go to the bauxite. So don't we learn from our past mistakes? And that is why the people of this country must look not left nor right, but must look straight and go and read the great transformational plan that has been put forward by Mr. Lanchamate. Our policy on minerals is that we will not allow, we will process 60% of our minerals in this country. It's only 40% that we give to the rest of the world. If the rest of the world are not interested in this arrangement, they can live in their country. After all, when the minerals are under the ground, it does not kill any human being. The more we mine, the more we have a lot of diseases in this country. We can even double ourselves in bushmeat. I mean, we can replace mining with farming. There are a lot of countries that do not have minerals. The only thing they have is their arable land. They plant human beings. I can decide not to put on any necklace. And of course, I don't even put on any necklace. But I can't afford not to eat. So it is important to concentrate on food than to concentrate on these minerals. You can decide not to go by a car. You can walk. So food is everything. And there again, Mr. Lanchamate is promising you agricultural revolution. These are the key issues. And not the easy way out, because someone will go and sign an agreement and have a kickback. And they come and tell us that they are smart. No one is smart. All these deals will be looked into when Mr. Lanchamate takes over.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Mr. Osu. Let me jump to Honorable Secretary.
Good morning once again to my colleagues, the viewers, and yourself.
starting point is that anytime you are going into any business transaction, you try to go from a position of strength. But Ghana, as a country in any business transaction, at the moment, is going into any transaction from a position of weakness. Everybody knows we are desperate for money. You only have to look at the macroeconomic indicators in the last 18 months to 2 years, and it is clear. You only have to go on the international market. You have to go on the, Eurobond market. You have to look at where we are, and you realize that we are not bargaining from a position of strength. Because the country or the government is always desperate to find extra revenue in manners which are not, or in a way and a process which could have been much better had we not been in a position of desperation. Classic example, e-levy. We had to try and push this e-levy to stop us from going to IMF. Why should we even have been in the position of having to go to IMF in the first place? We were telling you this thing from long. You were borrowing, and we said, cut your borrowing. The way you are going, you have a problem. Nobody listened, or at least the MPP didn't. And then when desperation came in, you forced an e-levy. By the time you went, and they were telling you that it cannot solve the problem, but you pushed it. So here we are. E-levy came, and it didn't meet anybody's expectation. So in reality, it was a bad deal. It was not necessary to have done it in the way and manner in which it was done. And it did not give us the revenue. Worse than that, to sweeten people, you went and closed down our toll booths in an unconstitutional, illegal manner. So when you are going into a position of any transaction and you are not going in a position of strength, you are already in a difficulty. That's why people are saying, look, relax. We are already in a bad place. This deal is not going to change anything overnight. To process and go through the whole, it's going to take you over a year to go through. So let's make sure that Ghana gets the best out of this deal. What is in the deal that will allow what Solo was talking about, moving from export of a primary product to an enhanced product, or a product that has been refined? So what are the terms of the refinery deal in the contract? At the moment, it's not compulsory. It is a possibility without compulsion. So you are putting us in the same position as all the other minerals that we have been pulling out of the ground. And we have a whole raft of minerals. We have gold, we have diamond, we have bauxite, we have oil, and manganese. All these are in Ghana. Yet Ghana still considers itself poor, even though we have latent wealth, plenty of it. So all people are saying is, look, for this lithium, let's do a deal for the first time that would help us more than any of the other deals. And yes, you can look at what exists in other countries. By the way, those other countries, are they being exploited? And why should we follow a deal that doesn't help those countries? I'm talking of the third world countries. I'm not talking of the powers that be. So if you go and compare yourself to how China is taking out its, lithium, a comparison is already flawed. Let's see how those who are dealing with people who are coming into their countries and taking the lithium, what are those terms of those contracts? And if it's an exploitative contract, what you need to do
is to ensure that yours is not. And you would have thought, and this is why I always say that Nana Addo's government has done us a very big disservice. And the disservice comes from the fact that no government ever in the history of Ghana has come to meet the wealth that they met. It just needed proper planning. Because by the time they had done 8 months of the new government, they had 2 oil wells on stream, extra to 1 that existed. 3. Kufuor never saw an oil well. By the end of the first term of Professor Mills, may he so rest in peace, we had just got on 1. It wasn't pumping full. By the time John Mahama was leaving in the last year, they are now fixed the valve. And this is in, I'm talking of September onwards there, that you could now pump properly because of the gauges and stuff. So when they came, what they came to meet was, for using a pan, it's like they have one cha-cha. You understand? It has landed. So all you needed was proper planning. We are going to have a rainy day. Somebody has already started putting down money. Various funds were there. Let us put some down. Let us plan. Free SHS is a good idea. We want to do it. If we start immediately, there will be a problem. We don't have the schools. We don't have the teachers. Let us spend the first 2 years putting this in place so that we won't have traffic light system. Every decision they have made was politics. Nothing to do with the development of Ghana. Every decision. So we'll do free SHS now. We'll do this now. 1 district, 1 dam. 1 this. 1 village, 1 dam. 1 district, 1 factory. Where are the factories? Where are the dams? Then they say it's not dam. They mean dugout. So where are the dugouts? The whole idea of the 1 village, 1 dam is that in the dry season, this would be constructed in a way where water preservation will be paramount. In the dry season, they are all dry with us. So you ask yourself, what have they done with all this money? It wasn't good enough that you had all this revenue. On the back of this revenue, you went to borrow beyond belief, so that the first crisis that hit everybody in the world, your currency now became the worst currency in the world. Depreciation, the whole country came to a standstill. Why? COVID affected everybody. Even the Ukrainian people and the Russians who were in the war, their economy wasn't suffering like us who were here in
economic view.
You understand?
Very interesting.
Yeah. So you ask yourself, bless you, ask yourself, who do they think they are fooling? I mean, when I hear MP people mount a podium and mention break the 8, I take it as a slap in the face. It's a complete insult. You should be thinking of how to hand over amicably. No, they have done nothing with the money that they have obtained from revenue in Ghana plus the loans they've taken. They have done absolutely nothing. And people are living large. So good luck to them. Yes, everybody else is hustling, but some people are living large. And so it comes to the point where even those with legitimate money are looking bad. Because how did you make the money? Meanwhile, some people have got legitimate business, they are doing their this thing. Because in Ghana, when you make money, there's jealousy and there's this. Yes. But because of the history and the way, there is a small group of people who have taken everything, this state capture business. So that's why everybody is concerned about the deal. They don't trust it. They don't trust the people who are doing the business. We still have a finance minister in place who put us in the same position. No developing country or developed country will do this. The first sign you give to the rest of the world that look, things we are serious, we are going to, is to, and I know he's my friend, he's my, I have no problem with Ken. Ken went to school, fantastic guy. As a personal businessman, he's achieved a lot. But this is politics of a country. You don't do this. You don't do this. There comes a time where you say enough is enough. Let's send a message to the rest of the world that look, we are coming to deal with finances correctly. Therefore, thank you so much. You step aside. Let's be. No. No. Why? And when they say that you are doing family and friends, you say no. You say no. Every decision they've made. Butterfly, where did it come from?
Butterfly.
It came from the MPP.
Butterfly.
The butterfly has decided to fly away
Butterfly.
from their and when you look at the reasons for their leaving, it is a complete indictment of a group that says that it thrives on democracy. A complete indictment. What happened to our father Nana Addo? What has happened? The hope that people had on him, the hope. In fact, let's pray that in the next 10 months, he'll make some decisions which people will then begin to say that, oh, well, let's just put it down to power and issues. Because this is so wrong. So when you talk of the lithium deal, it's deep. You are coming to another topic which is going to deal with how our people is exploitation and blah blah in terms of the event that was cancelled. Look, we have to wake up as a people. The speakers that were coming and the manner in which it was going, you ask yourself, internationally, why would you do this? There seems to be a culture of impunity in governance. And it's, look, in the so-called speech of, which you are laughing at, but real, I wouldn't say so, the real speech of President Mahama, he made a comment. He indicated that you have people who died in an election. And the president cannot find it in his spirit or his heart to just say, look, let me commiserate with you on the loss of life. Who does that as a president? Who? People have died in your country during an election process, and you cannot bring yourself to say, come, we are sorry, listen, I'm the commander-in-chief, whatever has happened, we'll see what. Nothing. Even empathy we can't get. Bless. Roll on December 7th. Roll on. We are tired. Ghana people are yabre. Esubo. Too much. We are tired. What kind of, and you are talking of lithium deal. Everybody has told you that it is not correct. From Imani to MPs, they say it's going to Parliament to look at. We pray. What are the powers to stop it or not to stop it? Same with Ejaba. We complain. But Soro made one point which is very important. Every deal is going to be looked at.
Oh yes.
Every deal. Whoever comes, yes. We are not saying anything. Every deal is going to be looked at.
Right. Thank you very much for listening. Prof.
Sure, your signal is on fire now. It's a new year, and then good morning once again. Happy New Year to your cherished viewers. I appreciate the topic you've given us. 3 topics. And the first one is what we are discussing: Africa lithium, energy, green energy, and then the imperialist interest. I'm sure we should not forget about those parts of the key words in the topic. For me, African interest. And the way you start your discussion all the time with, your studio, I appreciate so much. You always start from the global point of view, Africa to be precise. Then you narrow down the discussion to Ghana and then the implications. So we go by the same trend, African lithium, green energy, generating resources from other natural resources or energy through, I think, 3 things: sunlight, wind, And which one again? I think about water movement.
Yeah, aqua.
Aqua, yes. So, imperialist interest. Let's start with the discussions. And I appreciated the background you gave to the issues. The imperialist interest. What are the imperialists? Those who practice imperialism. And we know that it's basically doctrines or political or state policy or powers, extension of powers by territorial acquisition or economic powers over other jurisdictions. And that's all that we are considering now. The race for lithium in Africa, I think it's called the white gold of renewable energy revolution. And across the globe, the demand for lithium or the global energy transition has increased exponentially over the years, and that is driving the price of lithium. That's why there's so much focus on lithium in recent times. And if you look at the report by the UK-based non-profit Global Witness, we have been told that it's going to fuel corruption. A lot of social vices are going to come because of this, the demand for. You give a background, the landscape of lithium in Africa. And countries that they dominate in terms of the supply of lithium, you said Australia, China, and Chile. And you indicated that they produce about 95% of the entire 130,000 tons produced in 2022, which is a lot. And we're also told that between 2022 to 2035, it's going to increase about 6-fold. So the search on Africa is huge. And that is why countries, the China, the Australia are having monopoly in this case. You mentioned Zimbabwe, you mentioned Mali, you mentioned DRC, Ghana, Ethiopia, about 6 countries. Now let's come to Ghana. Have a look at the global picture and the rationale for lithium. Our colleagues have talked about the demand, what we have discovered in recent times. Is it good or bad? Any discovery for us is a good news because we are looking for diverse ways of generating revenue. So if today we wake up and we are told that we have found lithium, we should clap, we should rejoice, we should be happy. But today, when we talk about any resource, any natural resources discovered, our hands are in the air. And I tend to share with the view of the UK-based non-profit organization, the Global Witness, that likely to fuel corruption and other related issues. Something that we should be proud and happy about. Today we are here lamenting. Why do we worry ourselves about lithium that is found? We should be happy. Now, I think last month or so, when we discussed this issue here, if you remember, a traditional chief, I think from Doma or so, yes, raised very cogent arguments that we are not against the bill sent to Parliament for consideration, no. But what we are against, mainly things that have been enshrined, captured in the bill, that any other thing that will be found on the ground will be added to you, the Australian company.
Yes. that aspect of it is so dangerous.
Any other thing that you discover again, add it to them. We don't know other things, and we have been blessed with timber. We have been blessed with gold. We have been blessed with which ones? Bauxite, manganese,
name it,
everything. So we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So if you entrust all this into their hands, what happens to us? We don't know. I'm sure that is where the issues are coming from. And past government and the current government, and my focus on even on the current government. Anytime there are issues to be discussed on national interest, we hope and we pray that they will take time to listen to the views of people who have interest. We all have interest. And other commentators, those who know this terrain, have come up with a lot of issues. Sit down, discuss issues. I hear we have increased our equity percentage or so to 6% or so. For me, it's not enough. So we should have a national discussions on it before you pass this bill, because it's a serious issue. And I'm also saying that if we intend to go ahead with this bill or this discussion, in fact, at this stage they are all exploratory, and I'm not sure they've started with the mining. That's what we have been told. If we want to go ahead, then I look at three issues: sustainability issues, social responsibility issues, long-term economic diversification issues. For me, these are the three important things that the government should focus on and discuss with our people here. How do we sustain this? Social responsibility part, economic diversifications on this, the long-term one. But again, I must say, if we still want to go ahead, then lessons from other jurisdictions, for instance, the booms and the downs of all these countries, we should be able to learn it all. Because if you don't do that, it will come back and have a major effect on us. All right.
Right. Thank you very much. Anything to add, Honorable Sebefia?
No, yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I said it all. Right. Unfortunately, we have a problem with our Facebook. We've had a problem with our Facebook over the past couple of days, but we are working hard to restore it. But alternatively, we are on YouTube, so you can watch on YouTube if you can't watch from your television sets. Also, the text lines displayed, you can send your messages through them. I'll be more than glad to read them as the show progresses. But let's proceed to what will be our next topic for conversation. The new force unveiling ceremony allegedly thwarted by national security. The new force unveiling ceremony allegedly thwarted by national security. I want to try and get the press statement that was released by the government. I think it was last night that they released the press statement. They didn't particularly give reasons for which they decided to call off that event, but I'm going to try to get it. I think it should be here. Right. But I think ultimately now we know who is behind the new force movement. And okay, right. So I think I have the press statement now. It says, request to use Black Star Square for the Black Star Line Festival. It says, we write to revoke immediately the permission granted per our letter. It stated the number dated 11 November 2023, which approved your request to use the Black Star Square for the above event. This decision has been necessitated by an unforeseen state event scheduled to take place at the venue. Under the circumstance, the amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis paid by your office for the use of the venue will be refunded. We regret any inconvenience this may cause. Signed, H.M. Wood, Chief Director for Chief of Staff. Also, there's a Deputy Director, Diaspora Affairs, Office of the President. Right. So this is this is the letter that the government or the Office of the President, they released with regards to the cancellation of that event that was supposed to take place yesterday, I understand, at the Independence Square. From where I sit, I don't think these reasons are germane enough that another event was to take place. So when was that decision arrived at that there was going to be another event, and when did the event take place? Was it yesterday? And was there no time to have had that event yesterday? And if so, yesterday, did any other event happen?
You didn't go there in the night.
Did any other? But I mean, this was an event that a lot of people were looking up to, or were looking forward to. PLO, Lumumba, Julius Malema, Peter Obi and co. They were all in town yesterday, you know, to attend this event, and then only for, to their utter dismay, this event didn't happen. There were musicians as well who were supposed to pass through and all. I'm going to start with you, Honorable Secretary. What you make of this whole, very corny situation, I should say. Very corny situation.
Thank you. The MPP is behaving like Akwete police. You know Akwete, the lizard, the male lizard. It's always doing press-ups. But no matter how many press-ups he does, it can never become a crocodile. To be doing press-ups the day he dies. I don't understand the logic of this. And I think the lineup of speakers fighting them. That's my because they are hardcore socialist driven speakers for that event. Social Democrats, some will even go further than calling them Social Democrats. And if Julius Malema was allowed to speak, there will be trouble in this town. That's all I can say from this whole. The reason doesn't make any sense. Absolutely no sense. And they flexed with their press-up muscles as the Akwete police and have called off the event. It will do them more damage than if they had allowed the people to speak and go away. Internationally, it's bad. Very bad decision. They could have asked for further and better particulars, which should have told them who the speakers were at the time. They had more than a week to have called this off so that people don't even get on planes and travel. Why at the last moment? But there were some few comments made by some of the speakers. I think Professor Lumumba, and he spoke about the lithium deal. And all of a sudden they cancel. Then if it was Malema, it would have been a different matter. So for a government that is seen or is couched as a neo-colonialist puppets, excuse me to say, the kind of speakers, the lady in question, the doctor, she has hit hard at French imperialism. And they are all coming with a wealth of knowledge. And it was going to look like they were coming to enlighten an already upset youth in Ghana. So somebody has sat down and said, this this matter, we can't let these people come and speak. Already not only will it affect government, it can affect the whole stability of what we are in. Everybody will see us for what we are. I can't say any other. I'm just talking candidly because that's the reason given. You have asked a question, what event took place after? Because it must be an event that was going to take place on the day. So what is the event? Well, they just cancelled it. They decided to cancel. They couldn't. The heat was too much. The little they got from Professor Lungu was like, hey, this we can't handle. But it's bad for our democracy. And increasingly, this may affect our freedom of speech index. Because in effect, you are not allowing people to speak. And what threat? All the people who were main speakers were foreign. But there's a drive in Africa at the moment for self-actualization and self-realization, especially amongst the youth. And people are reacting to what they feel as exploitation or over-exploitation. And I can understand national security up to a point, because when you look at what has happened in some of the French-speaking countries and one attempt in an English-speaking country, the self-actualization and the spurning of youth is something that they would really look at and consider a threat. They will never take their mouth and say it, but it tells us the state of our country and the manner in which people are jittery because of the level of hardship and poverty. Why? Is this not a country that is shouting about homecoming? People should come home. This is the bastion of African liberalization, etc. And you have three major speakers and you say you don't want them to speak. Why? You understand where I'm coming from? Because you have opened up the door and sold Ghana in different ways, even to the extent of letting African Americans come home. We give them residency, or should I say even citizenship, etc. Fantastic. But when you open a door, you don't know what will come through. And in that same vein, all these people are people who think of Africa, the star, and it must move forward. As Kwame Nkrumah espoused. After all, that is why Kwame Nkrumah won that award of, or accolade of, the Millennium African Leader of the Year, of the century. Of the century. So, when you have that type of this and you open the door, you must understand that anybody who's looking for African liberation believes that Ghana is a place to come and talk about it. Regardless of who is in government at the time. As to the gentleman who is with the movement, whether, and I don't know much about whether he's coming as a presidential candidate or he's coming as a new political party, I have no indication. But from the list of his speakers, he's going down a socialist route. That should have worried even us more than MPP. Because MPP is pure capitalist. So if you are getting somebody who is coming allegedly to come and take votes from a socialist front, not necessarily a capitalist front, what is your fear? You should rather be encouraging them. Yeah. But you know that there's fire in the mountain. And it can't fly. Because all people will know is that, not that they don't have a socialist, they will just know that in actual fact the MPP has failed us drastically. And this property owning cannot fly. And therefore people will gravitate to those that you feel can really change government. And it would have ended up amassing more votes for the NDC as a real. Because I've noticed one thing about Ghanaians. They never go for it. They don't look at potential winners. They look at winners. You understand? So they don't waste their vote. So when you go and open the door and everyone says, okay, look, this is not looking good. But who is really going to win? Look, this is a Mahama game. Let me go and vote there. Because they don't wait their vote. That's the biggest problem for my brother, the butterfly. So they looked at the whole thing and decided that no. If they allow this to happen, it's a feather in the cap of the NDC, and we are definitely out, whatever we do. So they won't allow it to happen, or we have to stall it for now and do it. And then the date was very significant.
Yeah.
You see, it was a very interesting day. So when you let people come and talk the caliber of people, of the people that were coming, we were all waiting to hear what was going to be said. And the government could not in any shape, form or fashion have come out good from this. So there is no reason about government event or whatever. We'll wait and see if maybe I stand to be corrected, the government will come out. But this was pure and simply a position of fear and concern as to the effect on the minds of the youth and the young people against this government, should it have been allowed to take place. And that for me is my take on this. It's unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened. It goes against freedom of speech, and it shows how jittery this government is, and how clear the fact that they are losing power day by day is a reality for them, and they are doing everything in their power to ensure that that does not occur. But the lack of it happening is in itself news. That's why we are discussing it. So it's all good, as we say, from where we are sitting.
Right. Wow, interesting. I don't know. You see, normally when we are having our stream, I only check Facebook.
Okay.
So today that Facebook isn't working, we have just YouTube. I'm just realizing that a lot of people actually do watch us on YouTube. Let me read a few of your messages. This one here says, "My brother, it is not for nothing that the sages say, he who the gods want to destroy, they first make mad." They didn't tell me your name and where you sent this text from, but thank you so much. Hi, good morning, panelists. I'm happy with how Solo speaks. He's now talking for Ghanaian interests, but not the NPP. Thank you. I am ACM from Western Region, Anoche, where the Ghana gas is located. Okay, thank you so much. Right. Good morning, Pan Africa TV. Bless. Can someone help us ask Nanado and his government, the NPP, the offense of Ghanaians to them, that they cannot forgive us? Indeed, yesterday was the saddest day in my life as a Ghanaian. Why calling off this useful event on a Constitution Day? Oh, Nanado, you are sitting down and these small boys around you are making mockery of your name and government. In fact, Nanado, well, I won't say what else he has added. I'm sorry, I can't read that part. Ernest from Tantra says, let's definitely try to review our constitution. This will cover, regulate and control, for example, the election of MMDCs and DCs, judiciary, police, army, government, institution, etc. The government must know people make wild, brutal. All right, thank you so much for your message. Good morning, Bless. Ghana is in a state of comatose. Graduates from the UCC are now required to pay 15,000 Ghana cedis before appointment or recruitment this part of the message is not so clear. It says, this is the country the NPP and Nana and Baumia have left for graduates. Akiba Daniel Methuselah from Techiman, Tiobodom. Thank you so much for your message. This one here says that we love your discussions. We learn a lot. Right, thank you very much. But we are complaining of the sound. You said it's not so loud. I'm hoping that our technical team would increase it. This one here says we should be worried the way Nanado is using our military in our internal matters. Not even Rawlings did what he's doing. Okay. Thank you so much for your message. Okay. I'll try and get the messages on YouTube later, but let me proceed to Prof to also share his view with us on this particular topic.
Yeah, it's interesting. And as Ghana prepares towards the upcoming elections, the emergence of the new force has really changed the entire political landscape. for a few months now, we have noticed a mysterious a mask. For a few months ago, you drive on the streets, and then you see one signboard, and that person, a new force. And then you go to another traffic light, a new one. And I'm sure beyond even Accra,
Yeah.
Kumasi and the rest. And I must give a pat the back of the organizers and those who are behind this in terms of advertisement. And I think the other social, other institutions or corporate bodies should learn this type of advertisement. I think they have done well, the way they started. And I don't know whether it happens to be a movement or a new political party, to be honest with you. I have no idea. But the problem I have with the name is a new force. I don't know why. Maybe it's the nice way of advertisement, because then you'll be thinking through what's the new force about, the meaning of the new force. If they had used any other word, I don't know whether they would have gotten the popular, the view or the attention that they've gathered so far. But the problem is a new force. In Ghana, I don't know the forces we have. I know we have Ghana Armed Forces.
Exactly.
And I don't know which other forces that we have again. So if you come up with such a name, a new force, the security operatives will have an eye on you. If they use a different word, I'm not sure the attention would have been that much. Now let's come to the whole issue. They wanted to unveil their program on that day, yesterday, on a constitutional day. They have been given permission to do that. And I think they have also invited this guest to be on the stage on that day, paying for their air tickets, hotel accommodation, the resources that have gone into this. I mean, it's a fortune. Yeah. It could be a fortune. Yeah. Having done all this, they get to the stage and they have been told, you have no right to do this. Can we say that the BNIs and the police had gathered different information that we are not privy to? It's a question we can ask. They can tell us. The sole duty of our Ghana Police Service or the BNI and the rest they are there to protect all of us. So if they have different information contrary to what we had or we have been told, well, so be it. Of course, we want to wake up early morning and then we can smile. We can go back to our jobs for security reasons. We have not been told about anything. They went in and stopped the organizers from going ahead with their program. And I appreciated the views from my other colleagues. We don't operate in silos. We also, globally, the world is also watching whatever we do. And we have indices. We have criteria of measuring our democracy. So anytime you try to tackle an issue, you have to be careful. Even now, whatever you do in my village, in Accra, we hear. So when you take such decisions, getting people to the venue to stop such events, the rankings, and then someone will go to the market You tell someone, oh, GDP, or CAD, you don't really understand. If you want to curtail my freedom, you have an index, you have a score. What are we getting from just this act? Nobody can get up to go and mount a stage if permission has not been given, and we have to get this right. You can't get, I don't know the venue, was it at the Independence Square?
Yeah.
How can a whole architecture get up, the organizers, and mount the stage, and tell the whole country and the world that we are going to do this if they have not gotten an approval? So my issue is that who granted those approvals first?
They got it. They got it. I think it was as far back as 11th November. So that's about nearly 2 months ago.
And that would even start from the mountain direction, the billboards.
Yeah.
The billboards have been around for months, showcasing, telling Ghanaians about a group. So can we say that our leaders sometimes they fail us? And that's what we can say. Why the security operatives? The MDD, the MDDs, the MDAs and all that. If I see a billboard, often will be found in one district assembly area. And they pay for. Why did you allow them to do all this? And then on that day, you disrupt the entire program. Remember, the key people they have invited will speak for them. At the end of the day, what did we achieve? So I think that something should be done. Our police people, our service, the leaders that we have entrusted the nation into their hands should wake up. Now let's come back to the new force. I don't know whether they have a centralized a place that they operate from. And when I heard that, there were a lot of questions that I asked myself. Who are these people? 2, their mission. 3, how did they get the billboards over there? And then I asked another question. Is Ghana ready for new force? Are you ready for new force? Or do we go by...
And you answer the question if you don't know what they are coming to do.
That's the question. And then, who are the main people behind the marks? We don't know. Today, I have no idea who are they. And here's the last question. Then, if we are to go behind to find out these people, I'm sure we can all go back to home and sleep well. But now we don't know. But let's look at the relevance of all this unveiling thing. What happened over there? In fact, our national security should sit up. The entire architecture. Just on our notes here, I think we were discussing this coup d'etat in recent times. That's our notes here. Sierra Leone and the rest. If we could allow people to erect billboards, we didn't say anything for months, and now they are coming to do something. You go in there and destroy the entire program. Then I think that there's a failure on the part of the people that we have given the country to govern. So I think, Grace, I'll end my issue here and then say that the security operatives, they have a right to intervene when there are issues. We don't have any qualms about that. But they should also be proactive in the way they do their things,
Right.
because they don't speak with
Right.
them.
Thank you very much. Hi, greetings to you and your panelists. Watching you live from Ashanti region. Nanado and his government have failed Ghanaians. We don't have any option than to bring the visionary leader Mahama to come and save us with the 24-hour economy. Honorable Kamasan from Kwadaso, Kumasi, thank you for your message. Whatever they do, their time is up. I mean, the MPP, they will surely go. Abochi Prosper from Janga in West Mamprusi, thank you so much for your message. Hello, Pan-African TV. Nanado and his men have failed Poto. That's why they are afraid of any social gathering. But for sure, the big animal will go forever by the name of the Almighty God. Sumaila from Tamale, you sent in this message. This government is suffering from paranoia. The attitude and behavior are haunting them. So even a simple call from the audience frightens them. This is enough psychological torture, and it's even dangerous than being physically beaten. Nemesis from Hidim sent this message. Thank you so much. This one here says, I'm texting for the first time on the cancellation of the Black Star Square event. Have we taken the pain to inquire from the national security what actually happened resulting in the cancellation? It must always not be for political reasons. The security of the state called Ghana is paramount and must not be sacrificed on the altar of some Pan-Africanist extremists. Unveiling the new force. What manner of force is that? From Yakubu Nyame Chambers Tamale. Did you read? I'm even surprised. Haven't you read the press statement? And did they not notify government? They even paid for the police 10,000 cedis for that matter as far back as November 11. So what exactly are you saying, Mr. Wusu?
Let's see, my problem with this whole cancellation is that the national security together with the government has given the new force a free advertisement.
Yes.
They have rather popularized the new force. And whoever took part in this decision was not politically smart. What at all were the speakers going to say that they haven't said in the past? Malema has been speaking in South Africa. It's all over YouTube, Facebook. Dr. Rekana, the Yasanto of our time, has been speaking. Peter Obi, we all know his position. Professor Lumumba, if you give him, even if you wake him up at dawn, you can, and I can predict what you say. You understand? But you can link it to this decision of really looking for an IMF second tranche. I believe that probably they were looking at it from that angle, that hey, the utterances of some of these guys could cause our external creditors to stop the negotiations that we are doing, so that that paltry $600 million will not come. I can safely say that. But you see, you go into national security in this country, any useless decision that we attribute it to national security. National security, what is it? We are in this country, people are stealing our gold, bauxite, manganese, diamond. You say that one is not national security. We have not been able to apprehend the culprits. Look, the greatest security threat to any nation is poverty, hunger. If we all agree that hunger is the number one security threat in any country, then it means every program that is going to take place in Ghana must be cancelled. Because poverty levels in this country is beyond measure. You see how the city is quiet. We are in January. You dare not make mistake. Because school fees from tomorrow going to start. Already insurance, they have increased it. Everything is up. And if this is not national security threat, then what else? The devil finds work for an idle hand. It's not about the speeches of these people. I mean, what hasn't Nanado himself as the president said in the past in opposition? You remember Mienu. What was so treacherous or dangerous than the all that be that comment? But nothing happened. Allow people to freely express themselves. Now, you see, when some of these things happen, those that are pity most are the civil servants and the poor secretaries at these offices. Look, H.M. Wood, Chief Director for Chief of Staff. Where was the Chief of Staff not to sign? Because Chief of Staff knows that this one is a bogus one, so her name will not come. H.M. Wood, innocent man. Then they will go and type for him. And listen, revocation of permit. Request to use Black Star Square for the Black Star Live Festival. This is H.M. Wood signed writing on. We write to revoke immediately the permission granted per our letter number OPPH02 dated 11 November 2023, which approved your request to use the Black Star Square for the above event. Let's end it there. So it means when the new force wrote to them, they sat down, they analyzed it, they conferred with the national security, they did all the SWOT analysis to know that there wasn't any security threat, for which reason they granted the permission or the permit. And they did not just grant it, they took them good choppable 10,000 Ghana cedis. Quickly they took that money. Now you go to the second barrel. This decision has been necessitated by an unforeseen state event. That was where he gave them out. Which state event is unforeseen? Which state event? Are we operating under dark horses? Which state event that you get up at dawn and say tomorrow there will be a state event? Are we okay? Then you allow H.M. Wood to come and sign this, because as for H.M. Wood, he does not have family to protect the family image. Family image. You see, politicians, when they want to use civil servants, any stupid letter they make the civil servants to sign, release. If H.M. Wood was my father, I would be sad. Which state event is unforeseen? And which state event took place yesterday? This country, the guns will say, now you go for, under the circumstances, the amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis paid by your office for the use of the venue will be refunded. It's not true. They are going to pay money. In fact, I'm sure they would have paid more than that. Because I cannot organize a program, invite speakers from all these places. I would have booked their hotel. It's not true. You see, national security has a lot of unaccountable interest. They will pay more. And I'm telling you, if they dare, they will sue them, and we are going to pay stupid money, which is called judgment debt. It's not true that I come and book a place, you approve it, I pay you money, and then all of a sudden you say unforeseen state event. Which state event you and I do not know, and you say you are just coming to give me 10,000. Who understand this bullshit? Excuse my language. So it's not true. We regret any inconvenience this may cause. So they themselves acknowledge that there will be inconvenience, and that is why when you are forcibly going to eject people from their place, you pay compensation. That is the inconvenience. So how much compensation will you pay? So their own release tells you that the country will spend more. And why must we spend more? Already we don't have the money. Now you go to the composition of the national security. Because this decision would have been taken with the National Security Council in the know. What is the composition of the National Security Council? Is it not the president? Is it not the vice president? And the ministers responsible for defense, interior, and so on and so forth. And every National Security Council meeting is chaired by the president. So it means this decision was fully taken by the president together with the vice president. Chairing this meeting and looking straight into you people, you want to take the shine out of us to go and stand at the Independence Square and tell us your peace of mind, to affect us in our IMF deal, and to also give people hope that we have not done anything. We will cancel it at the last hour. After all, what? We will pay some few millions of dollars. And we are okay. It is not their money. It is you and I, our tax. They come and take decisions that will affect us, and we are unable to confront them. The new force, they have been smart on one thing, that they pay for all these billboards you see way ahead of time, that at the time that people's mind, the MMDCs, the various district assemblies, they didn't even think of it. But at that time they were looking for money, and they gave them the money. So even the political parties, the traditional political parties are struggling for space. They have it in abundance. But like I heard an old lady in Kumasi say, it was an advice she was giving to the new force, that even those that have uncovered their face, they are not seeing top. You that is still hiding your face. So for how long are you going to hide the face? The new force agrees with the movement for change that what Africa, and for that matter Ghana, needs is a change of position. We have to change the way we do our things. It cannot be business as usual. And listeners and viewers must also not listen to Honorable, that when you vote for the movement, you are going to throw away your vote. That is the strategy these two political parties have been using, so that there is never a third force in this country. And that position will be vehemently fought this year. We are in January. We are left with about some 11 months. It's going to be fireworks at usual, and we are going to torment every soul that will try to come in the way of the movement for change. I want to admonish the new force to join force with the movement for change. This one is non-negotiable. What are they seeking to achieve? Is to depose the MPP NDC, so that we come, not just depose them. Because if the issue is to just change and not bring any transformation in the lives of Ghanaians, they are not for it. For how long can we live in poverty? That everyone has become by force either Christian or Muslim. We are praying by heart. We pray in this country because of what? And when you go and listen to the content of the prayer, yes, you will laugh. Food, we are praying that God should give us food. When are we going to go beyond praying for food to even pray to think of inventing new ideas? Food is the number one problem in this country. Now who caused them? When we have all these beautiful land, to the extent that now people are selling their cocoa farms for galamsees, and we have government in place. I always use your place. It's like they have heard the Canadian embassy. Now they are even providing them with chairs. Those days they were not even. You go there, and people have gathered more than Accra Sports Stadium. I watched Accra Great Olympics versus House of Folk. The supporters that were at the Canadian embassy were more than Accra Sports Stadium. They all want to run away to Canada. The US embassy, daylight, people are standing in the sun. As for UK, they have moved them to the moving pick. So at least when you go, you enjoy some small air condition. They take your money on top of it, and these money that they bring back to us as grant, they get it here. If you like, every day go to the US embassy and calculate the number of people that go there, multiply by the 2,200 or so cedis they charge, because they have pegged it against the dollar, and see whether the money that they claim they bring to us from the US is not from Ghana here. But this does not concern our leaders. People are going to speak their mind against your rot. And you say what? Now I won't have time to come back again, so I'll link my last that Nanado has been complaining about former President Mahama, that he has not called him to.
Yeah, it was actually part of our topic. It was going to be the last topic we would discuss. Yeah, sure.
And the former president has also complained that he has not also spoken about the 8
lives that were lost. Yeah.
So once again, this is where they have brought us to, the two parties. Blame game. But I dare say that the former president is right. The value of human life can never be replaced with any phone call you are expecting. If I do not believe that you won an election fair and square, I won't congratulate you. Me sitting here, if I go, that is why, even if I die, I have told all my children that they must never recognize Dr. Bawumia that he won any fair election in the MPP. They must not recognize, they must, even if they go into an examination hall and the options are, they know that the option is obvious, they should just get it wrong for my sake. If the former president believes that you did not win election fairly, the former president has no business congratulating him, and he shouldn't do so. The moment you do so, you have legitimized his position. The current president must immediately call or issue a statement on those innocent lives that were lost during election 20. Other than that, election 2024, you see, we are seeing things on the surface like that. Bless, there will be too much tension in the air. It is only the movement for change that can calm nerves. And Ghana must be happy and thankful to Mr. Lanchemati for coming into the equation. Can you imagine election 2024 going to be a straightforward battle between the NDC and the MPP? I'm telling you, elections will not even finish or end in various polling stations. Especially when you have political figures calling for people to go to various polling centers with machete. And what people are going to do if you don't care to know. So you need that calm voice to push things ahead. I'll end by saying that national security, your number one job is to entreat all the ministers of state, from finance to agric to even road. Bad roads is a national security threat, because you want to prevent lives and properties from dying. How many people do not die on our roads? When was the last time the national security minister called the minister of roads and to order that your roads are not good, it's killing a lot of people? At least in the time past, you know, the national security minister came in strongly that the way and manner the judiciary were adjudicating some cases was not good for national security. You know why he came in? Because he realized that if he did not say so, it could plunge the country into some difficulty. National security minister has a responsibility of telling the finance minister that the way and manner any least opportunity you want to tax the people, one day the people will chase you. That must be his concern. National security minister must be able to tell the minister responsible for what you call it, food and agriculture, that food prices are very high. What are you doing? These are national security matters. And not people going to entertain themselves at the Independence Square. I would have enjoyed Professor Lumumba. I would have enjoyed Malema, though I disagree with Malema, because Malema does not represent Pan-Africanism. His own EFF endorsing LGBTQ gave him in, and that was when I lost my respect for him. You cannot be a Pan-Africanist and claim to be a champion of LGBTQ. What are you talking about? Which African country support your position? So he himself is a walking contradiction. But Arikana, Dr. Arikana, we have seen her work as AU commissioner. She fought for the continent. Peter Obi, I don't know the difficulty with the Nigerian system, and he trying to make a headway in there, brought him to the limelight. Other than that, his own orientation about Pan-Africanism, I'm not too sure about it. But you know about Professor Lumumba. And the Honorable was right. His own on trans. He granted an interview to TV3. And the small gist he gave on the lithium gave the indication that there will be fireworks. It was a tip of the iceberg. But we need it. And Ghana would have been put once again on the world map as being the beacon of democracy. But you missed this opportunity and go and hide. I sympathize with H.M. Wood. Next time, don't sign some of these things. You have to feign sickness.
Someone else.
So that you let the chief of staff, because this one is going to be on the archives in our records, that you decided to sign this document, a hollow document like this. Then they said Deputy Director, Diaspora Affairs, Office of the President, Dr. Nadia Dongo Finn. Then you have people are denigrating PhDs. And you write this for us to come and read on this thing. Are you convinced about this release? You are also a Ghanaian. You must share your opinion. Are you convinced about it?
Oh, I've already said my opinions. Like,
the last time when this SML deal also came, they went and hid behind the media, the corporate communication affairs of GRA to let them issue a bogus statement.
Yeah.
You see, when they are issuing bogus statements, they go and then draw in the civil servant. Meanwhile, it is the politician that took this decision. I don't envy civil servants.
At all.
I'll end my submission here.
At all. Thank you very much. Let me come to you, Prof. No. Oh, okay. I should jump. Right. And I also here.
Well, I haven't. I think that the statement of President Mahama at the end of the year, and then the statement Constitution Day, have given a clear direction of what he has for the people of Ghana come 2025. He's in a very unique position, and that is why many of us support him wholeheartedly in his bid to return to office. Because for the first time in Ghana, the term hitting the ground running is going to be seen. Because you have somebody who has been there, seen it, knows the issues that exist, and is also able to see where others have gone wrong in the last 8 years. So his demeanor and his speech throughout all this clearly for me demonstrates that he is clear in his mind and his vision as to what he wants to achieve. He is also the last person who will give the impression that it's a walk in the park. It's a tea party. Because he has been there. So for me, he is come to deal with the issues as he knew. I don't know of any situation in Ghana where with the exception of Rawlings, who sat in the chair for 3 months in 79 and then left and then came back in 81. But 3 months is not something that I'm going to even begin to discuss here. But for a democratically elected president who did 4 years and 6 months or 5 months because of the death of President Mills, his position is so unique. And throughout all this, he has learned not to use derogatory language. He has never done, never will do. He has been saddened by various things, even statements he made which were rebuffed when he was in office. I remember a statement that, look, you haven't been in government, a president before, so you don't understand some of these challenges. And it was rebuffed on the basis that, but why? You can't make this statement. Everybody can be a president. Here we are. Here we are. Those that were not have seen. And it was a statement which had been made indirectly by Kufuor. Kufuor said, when they asked him about the number of ministers he had put, he said, oh, you know, when I was in opposition, I thought, but this I can't do. So what President Mahama had said shows that experience, sometimes there's no substitute for experience. So we are all very clear in our mind that expectations are high because he has been there. But I am pleading with Ghanaians for now that the work that has been left for the NDC has never been left by any government under democratic dispensation like this one. Debt forgiveness, bad GDP, what's it called? Position, macroeconomics all over the place. Nobody should be expecting miracles. We will do a lot, but the first thing is to stabilize our economy. We must stabilize it, and in that process we bring growth. So you need experience. If you don't have experience and we come to now try something new, we'll have a problem, especially when the MPP is coming with somebody who has clearly demonstrated that he cannot speak truth to matters that matter to our country. He's always politicking without reality. So I'm aware that you don't have a lot of time and my colleague must speak. But I haven't spent time dealing with Nana Ado's statement because for me, I've stopped taking anything the president says with any form of hope of change or whatever. He's had 8 years. This is the end of the 7th. He's in his 8th year. And everything he said he would do or not do, he hasn't done. And I'm still waiting for the completion of at least 10 of the hospitals from the 111, which should have been finished 18 months from the time they came into office. And we are all waiting to see. Because I was a former Minister of Health, and I think that at least we should have those hospitals. It shouldn't become just rhetoric. 111 hospitals, 7 years down the line, or at least 4 years, let me give you from the time that first was 88.
It's like 1 year.
He said 180, when it was 88, the promise was 88 hospitals. It was going to be done in 1 year. Well, 1 year came and passed.
Well, that's 1 year. How can they build that?
No, but they are magicians. Anything they are telling us.
People are not taxed when they make.
You understand?
Yeah. They were going to be taxed.
You say all these things. You know, I mean, and Baumia, classic example. Oh, we don't. The money is in Ghana. I know. We will just toll the roads, and we will build all the roads. Are we considering them as a possibility to govern Ghana? Why? They don't come anywhere. It's over. Now we just have to shine our eyes. This rigging machine that they have put in place, we have to count our vote. As for the popular vote in terms of people have had enough. But we know that it's not about the popular vote. It's more than that. You must count it and be alive, and all this bribery of polling agents. We have to shine our eyes. That's all. And then we can do what Ghana needs, and the salvation can begin. Beyond that, bless. I'll leave the floor for my colleagues. But it's a new year.
Yeah.
And it's a good year. By the end of this year, the nightmare will be over. Because that's where we are. And I'm grateful for the patience of Ghanaians to this point, because democracy must thrive.
Exactly.
End of story.
End of story, right? Thank you very much for all this. I think we round up the discussion with Prof.
Once the Honorable indicated that
Democracy must thrive.
But I think I was struggling to get a few. That's why I had to respond to you to find out, because I've not heard the statements on the last discussions. Mahama, ex-President Mahama, and Nana Ado Sanos as year to the end of the year. In the sorry, 2024 election will be battle of ideas and records. I must indicate, battle of ideas and records. I wish we take the topic. We take our President Nana Ado out of the discussion and rather substitute and bring our Vice President Baumia into the discussion. But difficult to do that because he also writes on the records of the president. And he's been one of the figures, one active vice president over the years who also championed a lot of projects. Individuals will take decisions to run for presidency. Decisions are various. There are various reasons. Sometimes for political aspirations, sometimes for policy agendas, sometimes for public service, sometimes reasons to national issues. These are and many others that these are why the individuals want to run for presidency. And I can also say that speeches and platforms are the avenues in which we can hear the views of our leaders. If we look at the two, our former president, His Excellency Mahama, and I look at Bawumia, when I can equate him to our president because of the role that he's played. I asked two questions. That of our ex-president, the question I asked, he said, during on the 2nd March, when he launched his campaign, he said, why I'm the change that Ghana needs. He said, I am the change that Ghana needs at this stage. And I'm sure he had his facts right. And he said, he's a leader Ghana needs at this moment to get out of economic hardship. And second, he said, I will build the country every Ghanaian wants. And he said, Ghana demands togetherness and not divisiveness. The last thing he said, Ghana does not need a try-me-to leader. And I was enthused with all these titles and all these agendas and all that. For me, they were all good on that day, and I recall all these things that were said by him. Now, if you look at our vice president, who happens to be the flag bearer at the moment for our the MPP party, from the boardroom of Bank of Ghana, move all the way about 16 years. He followed President Akufo-Addo from 2006 or so to 2016 or so. Won two different elections. During his acceptance speech, he made a comment, and he was responding to comments about not being his own man and the fact that he's going to be influenced by the current president when he's out of power. And he also said, no, I'll be on my own man. I'll take decision by myself. In fact, if you look at that of our ex-presidents and that of Bawumia,
Yeah.
are they all, I asked first question, I'm the change the Ghana needs. And will it be your own man as that of Bawumia? I've been telling myself, yes, as a country, do we have the men to help move the country forward? I'll say yes, we have. But I keep saying, I want to go to Kumasi, and you want to go to Kumasi. Which direction? I want to use north, you want to use south. We won't get to the same destination. But the caveat is that we have the people who can lead the country. But whatever they tell us, they should be able to give details of what they want to do. That's been my major problem. And I appreciate that a former president said he will reduce the the minister, the ministers to 60. Laudable. Laudable.
That's really too much. We are reducing it further. The movement.
Oh, I've not been told.
Oh,
That's a good
we have
thing.
not read that. We are reducing it.
It's all
We don't
about
have the plan.
getting
We
resources.
don't have the plan.
Saving resources for us. For me, it's good. So I think may the best candidate wins. That's the best thing I would say.
Right. Thank you very much. Our time is up. So you are reducing to what? To how many?
No, maximum 20. What are we doing? The cabinet says the 19 ministers. Why must we have more than that?
No. Solo.
Right.
Be careful how you say that, because there are 60 regions. Are you not going to have regional meetings?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Right.
When you have regional coordinated, what are they doing there?
Right. Thank you very much. Our time is up. Thank you, Honorable Secretary.
I'm just-
Thank you, Prof. Isaac Wade. Thank you, Solomon Owusu. It's been a pleasure. And to you at home for doing the watching. Those of you who watched us from YouTube, on YouTube, thank you so much. We will get our Facebook rectified. Hopefully by tomorrow. We are praying. We are working vigorously behind the scenes to ensure that we restore our Facebook back to normalcy. Until then, I'll catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.